What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and first of all, a huge shout out to the folks from the WizKids team and V for sending me over the 40 settings stone bridge. As you can see on the small cam in the bottom right, this was a little bit too big to have at my desk and do a small unboxing there. So I thought, let's try something different. Let's go to the D&D room. We'll try a dual camera setup so you can see me, but as well as a close-up of the box. This is a pretty massive, if we spin the box around, you can see there's quite a bit of stuff included in here. So I've got plenty of space in here to move things around and minis and things to play with. So why don't we just first of all dive in and cut this bad boy open and see. Also, again, with the new setup that you're seeing right now, I'm trying, from the room where we typically stream our D&D games in. And I thought I would try something different, see if this works out. I'm always trying to expand, offer new options and things to all of you to hopefully get the best possible experience. So, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the floor because this thing is heavy. It's broken up into 3 tiers here. This top tier looks to be the bridge itself, the main bridge. This middle tier looks to be sort of like an extension piece for the middle and the actual 2 end pieces. And then down here on the bottom is all of the little accessories. There's some guardsmen, some signs, like a guardhouse, a couple of wolf heads on pikes. All right, so we'll put the accessories to the side for now. And these main pieces are just sort of sitting in a clamshell piece there. Now here, you can see in front of me, is like the main pieces of the bridge. We have the 2 ends and sort of the center support. And these are solid as a rock, but they're relatively light overall. They do have nice, to bring these in, you can kind of make out there is a decent amount of detail as far as the bricks go. And then again, as far as like the kind of earthy trail, like the ruts from like carts coming up them. So in our top piece, we do have, looks like a couple of twist ties, 3 twist ties just holding ourselves in here. There are little keys on the bottom of these that seem to fit these pieces. So if we go ahead and put this, it'll sort of sit, I think, kind of right, yeah, there we go. Well, that's not clipped in yet, but I don't know if it's supposed to be pressure fit or how that works, but looks like it kind of goes like that. And then this piece, I guess they all just sort of pressure fit together like that. Yeah, I guess. And then let's see if this one's all right. And then it just sort of comes together. And there we have our stone bridge. Now I can kind of see a little bit of a seam there and sort of over here. So I don't know if you can really work to press these things together to get them a little bit closer. Also, you can kind of see there's some seams along the top there. And it looks like you might, I mean, if you really, I'm probably not going to mess with this too much, but you might be able to take like a knife, like a razor blade or X-Acto knife, and just sort of shave things down a little bit on the inside to get them to sort of fit in a little bit better. Really wrench on these, we can get them 90% of the way. They look like they don't seem to, I mean, it'll serve its purpose for terrain easily enough. And it looks like if we want, we can go ahead and just take out the entire middle piece of terrain. And when we want a smaller bridge, these 2 pieces will lock together and we can have a much smaller bridge. I don't know if you could see it, but they all do have squares as well. So if you want to use this for actual like combat terrain, and I'd say the piece that fits the best is the center piece. Fits like really, really nice and easy over that support. And it like even does get the click to click in. So we can go ahead and pop out a guardhouse. Now this doesn't look like it fits anywhere specific. You could just put it kind of, you can see it's just got a little pointed house. You could put this maybe off to the side like this as people are coming up to the bridge, maybe on the bridge itself, but it doesn't have maybe in the middle of the bridge is the guardhouse, you know, I don't know. So we have two of those. They are identical. In theory, you probably would want one on either side of the bridge, right? If it's a guardhouse, guards on the far side, guards on the close side of the bridge. All right, we talked about bridge rubble. That is basically this. It's just a piece of, maybe it goes under the bridge, right? Maybe it's just like a hollow, kind of rocky terrain piece. We have two of those. We have our pillars that we talked about. Now those look like they go here, maybe? Yeah, here we go. They're gonna sit somewhere. Oh, you know what? I didn't even notice this. On our little bridge, you can see right there, there's a little T kind of keyway, and this will click into that. So we can add our little bridge pieces, and they do have a spike on the, or a hole on the top, so it looks like we can mount, yep, here's a little bridge cap right there. That can sit right on there. To speed things along a little bit, I went ahead and took everything out of the package, and there's some really cool little features that I really, really like. So the center bridge piece does have two holes, you can see right here. And you can use those to go ahead and put in your little caps like we showed on the other end. So you have the little caps on your bridge. So you can have them like you see here on this end where that's an option. So I have the other two right here, the actual caps that go on the far side of the bridge over on this side, which just, you know, again, they just slot right in. Now, they do have these little chains that you can see here, and what's really neat is the chains have that little T on them, so if you wanted, you could go right over here, and I don't know if they'll go, yep, they will, right into the T, yep, on the edge of your bridge, which is really cool kind of modularity that these things have. So now, you can see my bridge is chained off, and again, there is chains that can go on the other side, but they also have these little broken chain pieces. So like, let's say we wanted to put them on this side of the bridge, we could go ahead and slot those in over here. And we can have like, and this is cool because you could in theory like update your terrain to see like how we have broken chains on this side of the bridge. Although those are kind of, there we go, I was gonna say it's floating, but you can see like we could have a broken chain. They also do have tiny little like, oops, just rolled down there, but little like shackle pieces of like where the bridge used to be, you know, so you could have without any chain on it at all. So that was pretty neat. So yeah, we can take these and put like our chain across our bridge to have a blockade. Again, we have our little guardhouse. We also do have our I'll get closer image or close-ups on these too, but we have our male and female guard who we could put, do they fit? They just fit inside the guardhouse, though their spear is a little tall there. You can see they kind of fit inside there. We can go ahead and put her in the next one next door there. So again, both of our guards in the guardhouse. And we do have these, they're kind of worn. This one here says beware of troll. And this one says toll bridge, have coin ready. So we have these little things we can put on either side. We also do have these wooden like spike blockades that we could put. We have 4 of those. So we could actually put them on our bridge all along it the whole way. And then if we wanted down on the other side, so if we scooch these guys out of the way here, you can see we now have a blockaded bridge the whole way along, and they are designed basically to fit inside the bridge, so we could have that the whole way to showcase all of that. And then the other cool thing that I really, really like is they gave you these, like, this is just a piece of dirt. And basically they give you a pike, right? So you can take the dirt and put it in a little pike inside the dirt mound, like this. Well, that's not really sitting in there. I don't know if it has like a specific way that it sits in there, but either way, you push this in there. I can get it to snap in, right? There's your little pike. But they come with wolf heads that you can go ahead and slide down the pike if you want to have. Here, let's get that, let's zoom that in a little bit. See if we can get ourselves, oops, and I'm a little too down there. There we go. So if we zoom way in, focus that, you can see we put a wolf. I put that one upside down, but we could go ahead and turn our wolf head the other way around. Oops, come back here. And go ahead and drop that on the pike. And now we have a wolf head on a pike. They also have, you get 4 pikes, basically. Oh, this one snapped in a lot better. And here is a human skull. But again, the skulls pop off. So we could, in theory, drop the human skull on here on top of the wolf skull if we wanted. And again, we have another wolf head, 2 wolf heads, 2 pikes, 2 human skulls, and then again, 4 of the bases. But what I thought was really cool was these little caps. If you go ahead and pop the cap off the bridge, you could take and put the pikes here in the edge. Well, I can get it to sit in there perfectly. It's just basically a round hole, so you could go ahead and put your pikes. I don't know if you guys can see that there, but like I have my wolf head now on a pike on the edge of the bridge. So you could do that. You have 4, so you could put them on either edge of the bridge if you wanted, or in the middle if you do the middle piece. And then you could just pop your cap off over here. If you're really trying to send a message to your players about wolves ahead, go ahead and snap these in right there. And now you've got wolf heads on pikes on either side of your bridge. You've got a chain across, you've got a couple of these, and you could put all the palisades, the wooden little blockades, rather not palisades, next to each other like this. Really set this up. And I don't know, I'm really a big fan of just the modularity of all this. You know, like I said, I wish there was a specific kind of offset or a place where I could put the guardhouse. Again, it could be on the bridge. It could just be off to the side here at the front. We've got a couple other like WizKids minis kicking around. Right here's like a horse to give you a little bit of scale here for the bridge. So if we were to move our blockades, you can put a horse on the bridge here. Give you a little bit of an idea of how much space things take up. With that, you can't really see that, can you? There you go. You can see here's a horse on the bridge. Here's a nightmare. Give you a little reference there. Here is a Maximilian's Earthen Grasp spell. All these, again, WizKids minis, just to showcase a little bit of the size here. But yeah, I mean, you get quite a bit of stuff here. I'm digging the double guardhouse with the 2 guards, so we could put one on either end if we wanted to. I like that I can just pop in this chain and then just very easily wedge my finger in there and pop it out of the little T space, and then we can go ahead and, or just I can take off the bridge pieces entirely. And then here's my chain removed. You know, I can slot right back in my bridge piece. Give you a little bit of a better idea of how things sit on the bridge. You gotta have a, what do we got here? This is a Kalishtar. I haven't put a Kalishtar on the bridge. This is an Eberron bridge, I guess. You can see right there kind of how your WizKids minis fit on there. And I mean, again, this bridge will be a decent, if you have the middle piece in, this is, what is this, 5, 10, 15, 20. Each bridge, each one of these sections here, the middle, or the 2 ends are 25 feet across. Yeah, so it's about 75 feet if you put the whole bridge together. So that's about a 75-foot length bridge from one end to another. So that's plenty of room for any kind of like epic battle you want to have. Again, you can put stuff underneath the bridge down here. trolls or otherwise. And yeah, I mean, and like you saw how easy it was to just go ahead and modularly, we can just pull this bridge apart, slot our middle piece right back in, and then again, everything just pressure fits right together. You might need to adjust it a little bit, but for the most part there, you just turn that, oops, that 50-foot bridge into a 75-foot bridge with just a little bit of maneuvering. And then again, I knocked off a couple of my little end cap pieces here, but we can go ahead and just push those right back into place. And again, I like the modularity of being able to have the little caps on the top, or if you want to be really gruesome, you could do the little pikes. And it would be really interesting if WizKids did more things like this that could slot into like the bridge, or like more little skulls to drop on the little pieces here. I don't know. I'm a really big fan of all the modularity of this bridge. So I have some information here on the screen. So it says its release date is September 2020. It is now October. At least this is what it says on the WizKids website. If I find a link on Amazon, I'll go ahead and drop it in the link below, or in the description below. So let's see. 3-piece bridge, risers, 2 figures, 30 accessories. And it is currently listed MSRP $149.99. Now, I will say you do get a decent amount of stuff for that price. So, I mean, that may be a little bit of sticker shock at the start, you know, just because of that. Anyway, yeah, but for sticker shock purposes, it might seem like a lot. But remember what you're getting in here, right? The terrain itself is probably the main draw of this. And this is a solid piece of terrain. If you wanted to keep this permanent, you could always throw some super glue in and make things a permanent fixture. We don't really have a lot of stuff like this in this size of scale, right? I mean, this is a 20-foot wide bridge, 75 feet long. We've got these nice sort of good, like these riser pieces. I like the ruts that are driven into it to show like carriages and things coming across. The fact that it's so modular where these pieces can just pop off and you can swap them in and out and put the chains across, or the broken chains, which is neat. And then again, some of these other pieces could be, a lot of these honestly could be reused in a lot of other places, not just on the bridge, which is something to consider too, right? These little barricades, these have infinite uses in any kind of terrain situation, as do the guardhouses. These could pop up in various places. The signs, even just like the rocky rubble pieces, they could be on the bridge, but you could use these in a completely different area. We could just need like a rock pile. Same thing with the skulls as well. So I'm super, super thrilled with this, and a huge thank you once again to V and the WizKids team for shooting this over to me for review purposes. Is there something specific from WizKids that they've put out that I haven't reviewed that you'd be curious in me doing? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see if I can't make that happen for us. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. This is a new experiment, again, in how to do these sort of videos. Let me know, that's the other thing. Let me know what you thought of this setup with like the big cam sort of on the left-hand side of the screen and the little cam of me down here on the bottom right, like showing all of me, but the main focus being here on the product. And it looks like it was pretty much in focus the whole time. Again, never tried doing it this way. So let me know what you think. Hey folks, real quick, I thought I would be remiss to mention, as I was making this video today, it was announced that WizKids has released a whole new website and a new means for shopping for D&D minis. It's actually called you can go to D&D, that's D, the letter N, D, mini.com. And it's right here. If you go ahead and click this, it'll take you right over to dndmini.com. And it's just any questions you have about WizKids D&D minis, they're all right here, right? So you can also get this Yeti Tyke promo kit here if you spend $100, and you can see just everything's on here, right? So we've got Icewind Dale stuff. We've got the Chardalyn Dragon. We've got the Avriatures Gargantuan Dragon that's coming out in a little while here. We've got, you can see the tower, the stone tower, which was revealed back at Toy Fair that hasn't been really talked about. That's on for pre-order. This whole new mini pack that's not even really been talked about yet, Fangs and Talons, which is coming out, what is this, looking for November of this year. And then kind of alongside that, we have the Gargantuan, or the adult black dragon, kind of to mimic the adult white dragon that we saw earlier in the year. They also have the section with lifestyle products, which will showcase all of the cool new, you know, all the different heads and stuff, the dragon heads, the beholder head. I don't know if you saw, but there's also a hand and Eye of Vecna set coming out later this year. Let's see if that's over here in the lifestyle settings. Or the lifestyle product, I like the starship and the the knight are, the walking statue are in here because they are so big, basically. But the different dragons here, looks like free standard shipping on all orders over $50. Let's see. We've got our various spell settings here as well, the spell effects and whatnot, which are really cool. You can get them by storyline, by what's new. It looks like you can also go to just like, let's say I want to look at pre-painted minis. You can just look at the unpainted minis, the pre-painted minis. I just thought that this was a really cool thing that they unveiled basically today, and that it would be interesting and worth checking out. Look, you can see all the other future premium sets, the ones that we haven't even seen yet. So like, I don't know, what is this? A human druid, right? So there's all sorts of cool stuff out there for you coming out, so you can get a good look at. If you've ever been like me and you've been like, where do I go to find stuff? Because you didn't really like the base WizKids website. It was kind of maybe hard to navigate for you, or you didn't want to keep going to Amazon to look for that, or wait till they show up in your local game store to go find them. You can just go to dndmini.com and check these out for yourselves. You also can buy them right from there. They have a shopping cart, so you can go and do that as well. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.